Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. So before I get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Curology. If you don't know what Curology is yet, it's basically a custom skincare service that makes a specific formula made just for your skin. Even though it's becoming more common for men to start trying out skincare products, I still feel like there's a sort of stigma around it that I don't totally understand. I think it should be totally normal. It's really just taking care of yourself, and your skin is really a big part of your health. Ever since I've been in the house for most of my time because of quarantine, I noticed I have been paying a lot more attention to my skin. I don't usually get super bad acne anymore, but it's really dependent on my diet usually and the type of things I'm putting into my body. And in the weeks leading up to getting Curology, I definitely was not eating the best, and that caused one of the worst breakouts I've had in a long time. I've tried a ton of different skincare products in the past, but I've never tried something that was made specifically for my skin. So that's what really made me excited for Curology. So how Curology works is you answer a few quick questions about your skin, such as if you have oily or dry skin, where you get breakouts and things like that. And then you also upload a few pictures of your current skin. Then a dermatology provider looks over your submission and creates a formula made just for your skin type. It's really as simple as that, and then they ship the formula in this cute little box as well as a cleanser and moisturizer. And you only have to pay a $4.95 shipping and handling fee, which I think is super reasonable. And one of the things I really like most about this is that it gives you a really simple routine that you can get into the habit of doing every single day. So in the morning you use the cleanser and the moisturizer, and then at night you just add the formula into that. And it's really just that simple. It's a 3-step process. I really like the cleanser and the moisturizer in particular because they're unscented, and I can really tell that there's nothing unnecessary put into them, I guess you could say. And they just sit on my face really nicely and leave it feeling super fresh. I honestly think I've gotten some pretty good results from the first few weeks of using the formula. Like I said, I was going through a pretty bad breakout at first, but ever since I started using it, I really haven't gotten so many new pimples. Also, even though Curology doesn't technically treat acne scarring, I noticed that a lot of the dark spots from my past pimples have lightened up a lot. I mean, everybody's skin is different, so your results might not be the same as mine, but I think I've had some pretty good progress so far, to be honest. So whether you want to get into skincare and just don't know where to start, or if you just want to try something new, I'd recommend giving Curology a shot. So for today's topic, I figured I would give you guys more of a relaxed video again and give you guys part 2 of my quarantine favorites. I am going to include a few clothing pieces, but I really don't want to make full-on pickup videos anymore. I really just want to take my channel in a different direction. But I have a few good movies in there, a couple good books, and then some songs as well. So let's get into it. So I'll talk about the clothes first, and the first piece I want to talk about is these Schatz Ballet black canvas pants. I got these when they restocked a few months back, and I have been wearing them pretty much almost every day since then. They're made out of this super heavy, thick canvas that is just super durable and kind of stiff in a way. It gives your legs a lot of structure, and I love that about them. The sizing for me was really weird because I didn't take into consideration that they're high-waisted, so I just got my regular waist size. They ended up being way too big, so I just got them tailored, and now they fit so amazingly. I literally cannot stress this enough. I don't love wearing belts, but I'm super skinny, so it's hard to find pants that fit me both in the length and the waist. These just ended up being perfect, so I will cherish them forever and wear them into the ground. Next piece is, you guessed it, another pair of black pants, and these are the Helmut Lang black coated denim. I was on the hunt for some good helmet jeans for a long time, and I came across this beautiful pair of painter jeans, but they ended up being extremely small, like laughably small. But this is just another iteration of helmet denim that I've always loved. They're just a really nice black wax denim, and one of my favorite parts of them is that the wax is actually kind of faded around the pocket. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I really love that it plays into the theme of like the memory of clothes and kind of showing the wear over time. Once again, it's really hard for me to find pants that fit me, so I am just absolutely in love with these. And then the final piece I want to talk about is this Raf Simons Spring-Summer 2004 tank top. I'm by no means an archive collector, but this is just my favorite Raf Simons collection, and I've always wanted a tank top from it. This is made out of 92% cotton and 8% elastane, so it gives it a really nice stretch. Normally I try to hide how skinny I am with my clothes, but lately I've kind of been trying to accentuate it a little bit more with pieces like this, and I think this is a really good example of that. The first movie I want to talk about is The Lighthouse from 2019. I watched this back in May, but I think it's really important that I tell you guys about it because it's just an absolute masterpiece. It's an A24 film directed by Robert Eggers and starring Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. They play 2 lighthouse keepers who live alone on an island in New England. It's in completely black and white film in almost a square frame, and there is a lot of Old English language and sort of sailor language appearing throughout the film. There's also a lot of mythology, so sort of like mermaids and things like that. Both actors played really amazing roles in this, but Willem Dafoe really took the spotlight in my opinion. He had some monologues that were just absolutely mind-blowing, but both of them really showed how isolation can affect your mind, which I think is really relevant in these times. It has amazingly unsettling cinematography and was actually nominated for the Academy Award for Best Cinematography. It's a really chilling and disturbing film, but a great watch and one of my favorites in a long time. Next up is Interstellar from 2014. This was probably my 4th or 5th time watching Interstellar. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And this was probably the first movie that sparked my love for films and cinematography. It's a futuristic space film featuring Matthew McConaughey, and he plays an astronaut who turned into a farmer who is called back to action to find a habitable planet that people can live on, since Earth's crops are nearing extinction and so are humans. It shows the theoretical effects of space-time on humans and the universe, and I could see the world getting to a point where the Earth is no longer habitable and we have to look someplace else. I mean, we're on track for it right now. So if you haven't seen Interstellar yet, this should definitely be at the top of your list in my opinion. It literally changes the way I think about things every time I watch it. And the third and final film is Taxi Driver from 1976. This is an absolutely classic film directed by Martin Scorsese and starring Robert De Niro. It's about a lonely taxi driver in New York who pretty much loses his mind trying to find fulfillment in life. He becomes romantically obsessed with a political campaign worker, and that leads him to kind of becoming obsessed with the idea of somehow saving New York City, which was not in the best shape at the time. And he has a fantasy about making the world a better place, but the way he goes about those things are pretty chaotic and delusional. The movie is referenced countless times, even in fashion, and I think it does a really good job of portraying how damaging loneliness can be. It was also the inspiration behind the recent Joker movie, so if you like that, then you will definitely like Taxi Driver. So those are just a few more of my favorite movies that I've watched over quarantine. I have watched others, but those are just 3 of the ones that really stood out to me. So last but definitely not least, I have been reading quite a few books in the last few months. The first book I want to talk about is Rei Kawakubo, Comme des Garçons, Art of the In-Between. This book accompanied an exhibition that was held in 2017 about Rei Kawakubo's work throughout the years. The exhibition showed 140 original comb pieces and really showed how Rei always challenges the norm with her work. The book itself starts with a full-length interview between Andrew Bolton, who is the author of the book, and Rei Kawakubo herself. It was really insightful and gave a really personal look at her as a designer. The book is mostly a collection of images from her collections that are grouped into different complex themes. Some of the themes are things like elite culture and popular culture, good taste versus bad taste, past versus present versus future, things like that. Each page is just jam-packed with quotes from Rei, and it's really one of the few times that we've gotten direct information from her about her collections and her work. I spent a lot of time with this book kind of just going through the images and highlighting and taking some notes. Just the sheer amount of information in here is insane. The next book is Wabi Sabi for artists, designers, poets, and philosophers. If you don't know what wabi sabi is, it's basically a traditional Japanese view of aesthetics that places a lot of value on imperfect, sort of asymmetrical things that the Western world would view as ugly. This is just a quick and easy read that breaks down the history of wabi sabi and really what it is, sort of the fundamentals of it. It really changed the way I think of things that are imperfect or damaged, and really made me value the way nature ages a lot more as well. There really is a lot of beauty in imperfection, and this book kind of just puts it into words.
Fofo on me like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Dressed like a housewife, I'm a bad husband. Keep it fierce tucked. Champagne for the pain and suff. Fan same color as was a Tim Dunn.
Twisting in the cup while the sunrise. Sticky like the rain in the summer. Twilight in the blunt and I'm gone flying. Way up, high with a kite stream away. Cloudy in my truck, sitting dumb high. I got a car with the bad girls. The mean girls. The bad girls. I got good and close.